let's compute the median of all the columns in the Spotify dataset. I'm going to import pandas. I'm going to import the Spotify dataset and drop all the rows with missing values. And let's just remind ourselves how this dataset looks. Okay, here's the top 5 rows. So I want to compute, like this index really doesn't matter, but I want to compute the median of the highest charting position. I want to compute the median of number of times charted, and so on. Okay, and probably median of something like this doesn't make sense, I would guess. Although maybe since it's strings, it will be able to find a median, but it won't be meaningful anyway, I don't think. So, okay, well, Pandas makes it very easy to compute the median of every column. Can do df.median, and that'll just automatically compute the medians for me. For example, median of this column, highest charting position. Okay, that's what's listed here. Okay, so this is just a complicated way of saying 80. So, for example, if I evaluate this, what do you think will happen? Like, maybe this will be a syntax error because, like, I'm sure E is not defined. But turns out this is some, like, known to Python way of expressing floats. So if I copy this and check what's the type of it, okay, I get that it's a float. And I can write with this sort of exponential notation myself. For example, I can say 2e plus 0.4. And so how you should read this is that this is 2 times 10 to the 4th. So it's 2 times 10,000. So that's where this 20,000 comes from. So I also could have gotten this df.median using axis equals 0. Okay, using this keyword argument. And that's saying I want to compute the median running parallel to the 0th axis, okay, running parallel to the rows axis. Okay, so for example, I want the median of this. I want the median of this. Okay, as opposed to if I wanted a median running parallel to the first axis, okay, the columns axis, then I would use axis equals 1. So let's just go back to this df.median axis equals 0. So what if I want to get rid of this exponential notation? Well, here is one way that I think maybe it's a little hacky, maybe not. I'm going to convert these into strings. So I want to like apply str to this. I want to apply str to this, and so on. Okay, so for example, if I apply str to this, okay, then that looks a lot better. Shows me 780.0. So what can you do if you want to apply the same function to each value in a pandas series? Well, you can use the series' map method. And then inside here is supposed to be the function I want to apply. So that's already looking a lot better. I mean, I think that's basically perfect. Only other thing I want to do is I want to quickly show you, like, what if I wanted to just say just 780 instead of this 780.0? How can I like get rid of this 0.0? So let me show it to you. How about back in this example? So if I take this and then I type dot strip, and then the thing I want to get rid of is 0.0. So, I mean, you can already tell that something's going wrong. And so what's going wrong? Well, it's also getting rid of this this 0 here. Okay, so it's like getting rid of this 0, which I wanted. It's getting rid of this decimal point, which I wanted to get rid of. But it's also getting rid of this 0, which I didn't want to get rid of. So I can say instead of this, okay, I can say dot strip 0. Okay, and then I also want to get rid of the dot, so I can say dot strip, okay, and then this decimal place. And so that's pretty good. Let's see, how can I apply this kind of function where like this 7.8 times 10 to the second, where that gets replaced by like each of these values in the pandas series. Okay, so where it gets replaced not just by, let's see, not just by this one as x, but also this one as x, and so on. So I want to apply this formula to all of the values in the pandas series. So how can I do that? Well, if you try to like type dot strip here, I mean, it's already looking kind of strange. How is Python going to know where the variable is supposed to go? So this is where I can use a lambda function. So I can say lambda x, strx. Okay, let's forget the strip for now. So this gets us back to where we were before. And now let's put in the dot strip. Okay, so I can say dot strip, first get rid of 0, and then I can say dot strip, get rid of the decimal point. So if you're just looking at the top, it's going to look good, but look at the bottom. Used to be 0.512, which I think is about perfect, and here it turned into 512, which is totally different. So what's the problem? Well, this 0, it was getting removed not just from the leftmost side, but also, or not just from the rightmost side, but also from the leftmost side. And so let me copy this. And I only want to remove, for example, these zeros from the right side. I don't want to remove them from the left side. And so there's a string method for doing this. It's called rstrip that says only strip from the right-hand side. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for this decimal point. And so here, I think this is like a really nicely formatted pandas series where the number values that show up are really nicely formatted.